Ologbodiyan, a PDP chieftain, seems not to be satisfied with the manner the PDP is playing their opposition role in the country. He claimed that PDP is paying lip service to the comatose economic policies of the president. It is no longer news that under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the hunger in the land is severe and the nation's economic health is in comatose. Hence, this statement from Ologbodiyan.
It is said that a house divided against itself cannot stand. This appears to be the lot of the main opposition party in Nigeria, the People's Democratic Party (PDP), as contending forces in its fold fight for its soul. A coalition of federal opposition lawmakers have accused some PDP governors and 24 state party chairmen of plotting to keep the party's acting national chairman, Umar Damagun, in office until 2027 to weaken the party. Now, at a press conference in Akokwa in Imo State, the spokesperson of the group and member representing Idiato North, Idiato South Federal Constituency of Imo State, Ikenga Ugochinyere, alleged that plans have been perfected to prevent the National Executive Committee, NEC, of the party from selecting a substantive national chairman from the North Central as originally intended. Ugochinyere also accused the party leadership of nurturing a political alliance with the Minister of Federal Capital Territory, FCT, Nyesom, Wike. All right, CKN, let's start this way. The allegation by the coalition of federal lawmakers about the acting national chairman, Umar Damagun. This allegation, is there any truth to it?
Well, I'm not a member of PDP, so I don't know whether there's any truth or not. But the fact remains that the PDP as a party has turned into an opposition to itself.
To itself?
Yes, and that's the fact. PDP is supposed to be the main opposition party in Nigeria now that ought to keep the ruling APC government on its toe. And but it seems that just like Chinua Achebe said in his book, Things Fall Apart, the center can no longer hold. And that is what we are seeing now. And there have been so many reasons for this. We are coming to this issue, the issue of the NEC meeting. The NEC meeting has been postponed for about 3 or 4 times now. There was supposed to be one a few days ago, where before the governors, some governors of the party met in Plateau State. At that meeting, I think PDP has about 13 or 14 governors, I can't remember how many now. But at that meeting, only five governors attended, about 2 of their deputies. The other 5, no reason was given for their not attending. If you understand, I don't know whatever the reason were. But that is a signal to show that something is also wrong. But moving forward, at the meeting, the governors, after issuing they stated the reason why they believe that current meeting of NEC couldn't hold. Yes. They say on that particular day, or a day before, that was going to be the commencement of the funeral ceremony of the wife of the governor of Akwa Ibom State. Yes. So what they've done is to now move the meeting to February 2025 for NEC to me, and they've given an ultimatum to the current executive acting chairman and the rest of them. But it remains the fact, what we cannot take away from this is the fact that there are some people within the party who seems to be too powerful for the governors or the so-called top executive of the party to take certain actions. Because, as I said, you will see what happened in Rivers State. Okay. PDP practically went into the Edo election fully divided. And that in itself was in as much as Obaseki had his wish, but they were fully divided. Then you take it to the last election that we just had in Ondo State. So a house divided itself cannot stand. So the lawmakers may have their reasons, but the fact remains that the party that once told us is the largest party in the whole of the world, in Africa, and that they are going to rule for 60 years. Yes. They couldn't even, how many years did they rule? 16, Abi? Okay, 16 and 60 seems the same, Abi. So at the end of the bet, the party must be able to get its act together, because so much expectation, we have so much hope, so much expectation from PDP as an opposition party. Because if you look at the way the APC played opposition during the time of the PDP.
Yes.
That is purposeful opposition. They kept the PDP on its own. And that was part of the reason why they lost the 2015 election. But the PDP is nowhere. These ones are saying putting to the left. These ones are pulling to the right. And they come on to tell you that I had one of them, one of their top member, speaking of a national TV station about a few days ago, that the problem happening to PDP was caused by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I said, can you imagine? Yes.
Looking at what you just said,
can you imagine
they said the president and the APC is the reason for the wars, the situation going on in the PDP. Is there any truth to that?
Well, you must.
Or is it an APC strategy?
You must have something to blame, usually in politics. Like you said, and quite frankly, too, PDP is its own problem. The moment you are not in power in Nigeria, one thing is certain: you are going to lose members to the party that is in power. You can't run away from that fact. But even at that, the way PDP is operating now, it has become a problem unto itself. What a party in power can do with patronage, a party out of power in opposition cannot do. What these lawmakers are asking for, that is for the chairmanship of the party to be moved to the North Central, which still has a subsisting tenure to occupy that seat.
As originally intended?
Yes. It's the same thing that is happening in the APC.
Yeah, the APC also they are having their issues.
Because the chairman too is supposed to come from the North Central.
Yes.
It's like they operate the same way. They do their rotation the same way so that no one feels left out at any point in time. Now the PDP is unable to overcome its own problem in that regard because two men are fighting, and it is all about 2027.
Who are the two men?
Nyesom and Atiku Abubakar. If these governors, too, who hold the jugular of all the parties, are unable to resolve this issue, then there's a problem.
Now, how can the lawmakers and the governors sing the same tune to move the party forward?
They won't be able to.
You think they can't?
They can't. Because for the governors, what they are looking at is either re-election or the capacity to put their own candidates in office when they leave. So they are thinking of that. Who pays me better? Is it following the law or breaking the law? They must take a position. Some of them are already eyeing 2027, even not as governors, but going elsewhere, maybe to become a senator or to become the president. And this is not good. One, you had this same NEC NWC meeting fixed for April. You moved it to August 15 specifically. You moved it again to October 24. You moved it again to November 28. And now you are saying you are giving the NWC 3 months to call a meeting. So if you use 3 months to call a meeting, how many more months are you going to use to effect the necessary changes in the leadership? What it means is, the Yoruba say something. When you shigate, ko shigate. What in verse whether it is
for our English,
yes, whether it is
what does that mean?
Standing and wobbling. Something is certain. It is already using the 2 legs to stand somehow. So what they are saying is it's beginning to look like this thing is going to be pushed till 2027. And they are doing so gradually. By 3 months, it will be 1 year they have been trying to fix their meeting. How long does it take to fix a meeting and have it?
Moving the PDP forward, you talked about 2 men fighting, Nyesom Wike, and now the Nyesom Wike situation. How should the party handle it? Disciplinary way, reconciliatory way? What do you think?
The problem is that we've lost party supremacy within our system. All this rubbish will not happen during the days of NPP. UPN, UNPP,
MPN.
MPN. It won't happen because the party was supreme. That's one. Two, this is what happened when allow certain individuals to practically finance the political party. So he who plays the tune dictates the tune as well. So that has been, and that has what someone like Nyesom have been saying. Oh, when the party was down, everybody disappeared. I was the one that funded it and the rest of them. And the question I've always asked that, since 1999, the PDP has been in existence. Some people have also been funding it.
Some people even founded it.
Some people founded it. Nyesom was not part of those that funded PDP. It was people like late Vice President Asue
Ighodalo, Oko-Jumbo, Solomon,
those guys. Even Obasanjo was not part of it. He wasn't part of the fundamental. Yeah, well, I don't know about the judge, but along those lines, Atiku Abubakar, okay, to a large extent, to some extent. So, but the fact remains that until you remove the big elephant in the house, nothing will happen.
Who is the big elephant?
Nyesom is part of the problem. People have been talking about people. I don't think Atiku, you don't see Atiku coming out so heavy the way Wike is going about it. And I will say that time with time, if Wike has the best interest of PDP at heart, then that's something you just let go.
If he has the best
yes, if you have the best interest of the party at heart, that's something you just have to let go. But they must be able to learn how to be able to manage a crisis so that, as you say, 2027, it's just here.
It's just around the corner. Gentlemen, let's move straight to our next conversation. With the help of supportive leaders and citizens, vices will never overwhelm the society. In Ebonyi State, an unscheduled inspection by Governor Francis Nwifuru led to the discovery of stealing of property from the Ministry of Health by some government officials. Governor Nwifuru ordered the arrest and prosecution of the 6 officials for allegedly diverting materials meant for the ministry after he caught them in the act of removing the property at the weekend. In Lagos, operators of the Zone 2 of the Nigerian police, Onikon, refused a bribe of 174 million naira offered by a 28-year-old suspected internet fraudster, Patrick Akpoguma. Now, the suspect is accused of engaging in various forms of cyber fraud, including romance scam, identity theft, hacking, cryptocurrency fraud, ritualism, and cultism. The Assistant Inspector General of Police, AIG, in charge of the zone, Adegoke Fayoade, said the investigation began on the 7th of November following reports from residents of Lekki, where the suspect resides.
It's the first day.
It's not as if I wanted to come on a Saturday.
No, are you saying that today is the first day you're loading this thing here?
For the first time.
For the first time.
I have not met that man before. That Mr. I don't even have his number.
Have you ever come to answer this question? Have you ever come to Steve Rivalli?
All of them. These are materials that don't meet all this congested area. So we now needed to move out.
Where are you from?
From Mohbad.
Okay. Take one of these. Look at it, what is there? Read it out.
Diet Management Information System Daily General Attendance Register.
When did he expire?
It's 2013 version.
When did it expire?
This one expired 2019. We have the 2019 version now.
Where is it?
In use.
Where is it?
It's with the NHMIS. The NHMIS have it.
They arrest him.
Dotun, an embarrassment to say the least. I mean, how did we get here?
You know, I've said it so many times on this program. The kind of civil service that we're on.
Civil servants.
Is not the best. We have a system where these people have considered themselves into a clog in the will of the progress of the nation. That is why sometimes, like I have also said on this program, when they fight for salary increment or better welfare package, I seem very less concerned. Because what happened here that the governor has seen, I'm sure if they dig deeper, it's just maybe 1/100 of the rots.
But I want to believe there are still some really good.
I'm not saying there aren't, but the bulk.
Oh, the bulk.
The bulk. I can tell you that. Because this, it's not just limited to stealing. Attitude to work.
Okay.
The way they attend to people, the way they demand for bribes when they want to pass your file from one table to the other.
For
indolence. That's where you find it in the civil service. And it's been said over and over, the civil service is the engine room of any government, engine room of democracy especially. If this is the type that we have, then there's a problem. Remember the last time we also spoke about the fact that even our budget, they run into murky waters because a lot of the things that make up budgets are repeated year and year after year after year. You want to buy 160 computers in this office this year. You still bring the same 160 back next year. The year after, it's still 160. Does it mean that none was supplied all the previous years? Or did you damage them in 1 year? Those are the things we see in the civil service because that is how they make their money. That's how they make it. And that's how they run the system. It's a shame.
So corruption can only happen if the civil service enables.
We've said it. Remember one of the things we discussed the last time we came up with this, that I was on the program, was this issue of the Humanitarian Affairs Ministry. And the question I asked,
we're still going to talk about.
I know we are going there, but the question I asked that day was, the minister is gone, whether we like it or not. What happened to the civil servants? Especially the one whose account was used in taking out that money.
Okay, let's say, for example, the governor listening, the president listening, cleansing the civil service of this kind of bad eggs. What would you suggest?
Well, we need to cleanse it.
How?
But who is going to cleanse it? That is the issue.
Should it start from the top or from the bottom?
If the governor had not been present when this happened, it would have gone. And I am sure when you dig in, you will see that this is not the main man. This is not the main person. There is somebody who authorized it to be moved.
True.
There is somebody who would have known that that when Oga says move, the following day something is coming to me. So it's a whole system.
Like an ecosystem. Like
until when you get at those who approve all of this rubbish at the top, you won't be able to do anything. These are small boys.
I'm certain this is not the first time this is happening. We talked about there's a chain. Now, do you suggest that the governor should actually dig deeper, fish out the perpetrators of this?
How many will you fish out? How many? You're talking of fish, Abi. When you enter the ocean, you know how many fishes. So how many will you fish out? I think you understand. I understand. I'm just asking now. I'm just using your expression. You say you should fish out. Inside the sea, you know how many fishes are there?
I'm talking maybe like a broader investigation.
We are talking of the same thing, my brother. The doctor has put it softly. Let me even take it further. I think this is what we're talking about. We're just talking about stationaries. Are you aware that the palliatives that were sent to the various states, rice and the rest of them, get repackaged when it gets to those states and sold to Nigerians? That it doesn't get to the people that are supposed to. Are you aware of that? All the money. This is what the paper, you are talking of paper. One of the ones that use biro to steal billions. Is it not in this country that we had an AGF, Accountant General, that made away with about 120 billion, 110 billion naira? You've forgotten?
And went to do
plea bargaining. They gave him chief justice title. And we had a plea bargain, and he returned about 30 billion and disappeared with the remaining. So you are talking about just this thing now, stationary. The fact is that the system is totally corrupt. And the worst is the civil service. We have some very, very good civil servants. We have no doubt about it. But you know the problem? Most of those good ones, by the time they retire to penury. Their family will start abusing them. Their friends will be abusing them. Oh, you were a director. You will look at your mates. And what happened?
Now, gentlemen, talking about the system, the Nigerian police.
Yes, okay.
We heard of an officer who rejected $100,000 from a criminal. Is that not worthy of emulation?
It is really worthy of emulation. And
recently, many Nigerians who are pro-Tinubu's administration rained heavily on Davido after Davido made a statement in a radio station in US that the current economy of Nigeria is in shambles. They have continued to rain on him. However, some others are saying that, look, these pro-Tinubu's administrators who are going after Davido over the statement that the economic situation of Nigeria currently is in shambles, that was there any atom of lie in what Davido said? Taking a look at the current economic situation of the country, today, a UK resident who came to Nigeria lamented the fact that the cost of living, the cost of survival in Nigeria is more higher than the cost of survival in the UK. Imagine that. That is the current situation of the economy. But many pro-Tinubu supporters believe that the statement made by Davido further demarcates the nation, reminding him that when he needed fame, he came to Nigeria, that Nigerians made him. Several pro-Tinubu administration supporters have speak against the statement by Davido.